Yes, we're so happy to be here with you tonight on a Thursday.
I know it's different, but we hope you all had a really great Christmas and enjoyed your couple of days. I'm coming at you with lots of dry shampoo here.
Yes.
My Christmas vintage sweater.
Isn't that so cute? And I have a sweater on too, not as cute as this, but
definitely not.
We're extending the Christmas season just a little bit because, I mean, who wants Christmas to end?
Who's still in their pajamas? I want to know. Oh,
sorry.
That was my bad.
No, that was me.
I'm sure you probably.
Who's in their pajamas?
Because I was as of an hour ago.
I actually had a shower today.
I did not.
Doesn't happen that often, but we're so glad that you're here.
So glad.
So today's live is just one that we're going to talk about hospital bags.
Yeah.
Just because it is, at least for me, I know what to put in my hospital bag, but I always kind of feel like, wait, do I not know
something?
Yeah.
Like,
does someone else know something I don't know? So,
so please, if you have any good tidbits that you're like, I'm so glad I had,
suggestions
or insights that other people have given you, throw them in the comments or send us a DM or something, because we'd love to, we have put together a checklist that we're like a freebie that we have available in our link tree that you can have access to, something that you can print off, and anything that comes in that we don't have on here already, we'll add to it, and that way you can have it and
especially if there's something that you were like, oh, I really wish I had that, or I did that and it was the best thing I did. So we'll go over a couple things, both from a having babies standpoint as well as a doula standpoint. Because we see things on both sides. So we'll just jump in. So the first thing we have on our checklist is to check with your hospital what your hospital typically provides. A lot of hospitals will provide your aftercare, like the mesh panties and a peri bottle. Sometimes they'll do like diapers and wipes. So you want to see what your hospital will provide, and then you won't have to bring that. So pain relief medications, towels,
washcloths. They do provide some pillows and some warm blankets and things like that.
But have you been to the hospital? Their blankets are stiff, and they're like, not kidding you, this big, and the pillows are like this big. So,
and also plastic. Hey,
and they're plastic.
Little tid note. I'm not sure that's a real word. But they actually, because they're plastic, and if you're laboring in the tub and maybe you've been in there for a while and things are not as comfortable anymore, grab one of their pillows and sit on it, or put it under your knees or anything like that. As a doula, I've shoved lots of those pillows down in there.
So
do it.
A little tidbit there. But we're so excited. Ashley's a week from having her baby, so this is perfect timing to make sure you have everything. Hi guys, we're so excited.
We are impressed. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's the day after Christmas.
I'm impressed that you guys are here, because who's messed up in their time frame?
Who even knows what time it is or day
or whatever it is. But we're so happy you're here.
So anyway, we have it broken down to check out your hospital, what your hospital has, and then we have a big list of what typically a hospital will have, and that's in this PDF checklist that if you go to our link tree, it's on, it's the first one on our link tree. Also, it's on our website. It's a pop-up on our website if you want to download this for free. So you can grab it at either place, but we're going to go through. And then we have a couple things that you'll want to look at, maybe 2 months before your birth, to figure out, and then right before your birth. And obviously, the first thing right before your birth that we have on our checklist is your dear labor.
Yes. So, but then I also bring into consideration that you can wear anything.
Yes.
So put some thought into what you want to wear when you're in labor, and maybe you don't really know, so put in a couple options. And so,
if it's a bra and underwear, make sure you have your bra and underwear. If it's nothing, then don't pack anything.
But also you might be grateful to have a couple options, especially if you're laboring in the tub, because sometimes, I know for me, before I had my Dear Darby gown, actually, I had 2 different outfits that after I got out of the tub, I changed into.
Yeah.
And
so like a skirt or if that
or a bra, like
or
two
different
bras kind of thing.
Swimming
sports
suit
bra.
tops, whatever. So just have a just take a moment to think about what you want to.
I'm so glad you loved your gown.
Yeah, Olivia
it works.
loved it.
It works well. So I'm
awesome.
so glad to hear that.
And the second thing is a robe. We love our robes, to wear robes after. It's so nice to just not have anything restricting you. There's a lot going on, and it's nice to just feel covered up. You can wear your Dear Darby gown after as well, but if you wanted to wash it up or whatever, then a robe is a really great.
And depending on the time of year, maybe you want more of like a fuzzy one this time because it's kind of cold, and you know, those floors can be cold. If it's in the summertime that you're due, maybe you want more of a lightweight jersey, like rayon, something like that. So based on your climate and the weather and whatever, just think about that. Those are really the 2 things that people will bring robes. I think people will think to bring robes. I didn't, but my first couple, I don't even know what I was thinking. This list is born from a lot of mistakes on my part. So, but we just feel like that's something people don't usually take into consideration is what they want to wear during their labor. So just think about that. And then thirdly, I had to put this on as an extra pillow and a blanket. I get so cold, and there are no amount of warm hospital blankets that are warm enough for me. So I always like to bring my own pillow and my own blanket. Specifically for after.
After
you've had your baby. There's some hospitals that you'll stay in the same room that you had your baby. There's some hospitals where you're transferred to a different unit in the hospital that's more mother and baby. And so once you're kind of settled into your room after they've cleaned everything up, then bust out your blanket and your pillow,
and you'll get a better rest and night sleep. And then even I like to prop up a bunch. Either bring a nursing pillow if you'd like
those boppies.
Or is that what they're called? Yeah. Or you can prop up a bunch of pillows to help with nursing. So
those babies are little.
They're so tiny.
To hold them up, it is hard on your shoulders and your back and stuff.
So nursing pillow, or just an extra couple of pillows and blankets. And then slippers, birth ball. We've had questions about birth balls. You want to take this?
Yes. So check with your hospital, because a lot of hospitals nowadays will have a birth ball available. So, but that is, we talked a little bit about it last week in our live, but birth balls are awesome to labor on.
Mm-hmm.
And so depending on what's available to you at your hospital, or if you have like a specific size that you really like, maybe you're taller, maybe you're shorter, and so you know that you need like a specific size, and your size is just perfect, just throw it in the car.
Yeah, it's
better to have that available to you than be like, oh, I wish I had my ball.
Yeah. So just for you, then toiletries, whatever that looks like for you. As April suggested, dry shampoo is always a good option when you're in the hospial. And maybe not taking a minute to have a shower. You might rinse off, but not really want to wash your hair. So we always suggest dry shampoo for any occasion.
And I will also throw into this lip balm. I bring it in my doula bag. I suggest everybody have it, because you are working hard when you're laboring, and even though you're drinking a lot of water, or you should be drinking a lot of water, you should be highly hydrated. You still just a lot of breathing that you're doing, everything.
And
I just want to make sure
I swear hospitals, there's
climate,
something going on there.
Something that's drying
like
things out.
Dehumidifying, or I'm sure there's some reason. But I always, even as a doula, I always get really chapped lips in hospitals.
Which is we're starting to sound like we're selling our gowns, which we do. We sell our gowns. So there's that. But one of the best parts about our gowns is that it has pockets. And so you have access to it all the time.
Yeah, hair ties, it's not earbuds, anything you want on your person. It's nice that our skirts will have
the pockets. So you might want to consider that when you are in labor, something that has those few little things that you're going to want, that you're not going to want to have to say,
that are close.
Hey, babe, will you find my chapstick in the 3 bags that are in here somewhere? So
yes. Hair ties, flip-flops. So this is one I never did, but somebody suggested, or maybe it was at a birth brought flip-flops, and I thought that was such a brilliant idea because a hospital is still a public place. So you want, I mean
it's been really clean, but
yes,
but sometimes it's just like,
it's not your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it made sense to me. I was like, yes, flip-flops in the shower or when you're walking around or whatever. So just slip them on. And if you want to rinse off, you have your flip-flops just in case. So the next thing I want to talk about is clothes to go home in. And I don't know if I'm the only one that just like is not super smart, but I, especially my first baby, and I even did it with my second baby. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't learn. But back 14 years ago, clothes were not as stretchy as they are today, and I just took pants that I had worn before I had my baby because I was like, oh, I'll have my baby and then my baby will come out and I won't be pregnant anymore.
So I won't need maternity clothes.
So guys, if you do not want to wear your maternity clothes anymore, I get it. But please get some stretchy things because there is no worse feeling in the world than having a baby. You're leaking and you kind of feel like your body is doing weird things, and then you literally do not have anything you can go home in. So please take a moment to think about what you're going to wear. You don't want to
immediately feel bad about yourself.
No.
So
yeah, nobody has time for that. Like that's
especially because
so dumb.
As soon as even though you have still a belly, it's now like a 6-month belly, and you're like, man, I look good.
Because you do.
Because you do.
Because you just had a baby. So make sure whatever you bring. For my twins, I realized I just was wearing maternity clothes after that. And I really did. I wore my maternity clothes for like 8 months after I had my babies. So it was just comfortable.
I love it.
It felt good. So bring something stretchy,
loose fitting,
and even maternity if that doesn't bother you. So that's just my plug for your going home clothes. Did anyone have the same experience as me? Or have you thought about what you're wearing? Are you guys smarter than I am about bringing stretchy clothes?
Stretchy clothes.
You need stretchy clothes.
But make sure you have comfy pajamas, especially if you know how long you're going to be in the hospital. So typically it's 24 or like a minimum of 24 hours typically, up to 2 days. And then sometimes depending on how you have your baby, if it's a cesarean, then sometimes it's up to 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So make sure you bring comfy pajamas and a nursing bra if you like to have a nursing bra. I don't like nursing bras. How about that? I just pull it down. So, but here's my little experience. I did buy, and maybe this was what put a bad taste in my mouth with nursing bras. I bought a nursing bra when I was like 5 days postpartum with my first baby. I had boulders, you guys. They were engorged. They were huge. And I was like, I need a nursing bra, obviously. So I went to the store and got a nursing bra that fit me at the time. And literally 3 weeks later, like my boobs had gone down. Now I wasn't engorged anymore. And they were huge. They like fit my head. and my boobs never fit that again. And so I was like, this is a waste of money and effort and time. And so
because it's so specific to that moment.
So just don't buy a nursing bra when you're engorged.
Yes.
There's your tidbit.
That is
learn
really
from
good.
Our mistakes.
I love it. Okay, and then underwear, obviously, to go home in. They do give you those mesh undies, which I personally love.
I love them. I love those.
We have had several women. So comment here if you've done this. You know those period panties? Several women that we know, instead of wearing the big, like Depends or the big maxi pads that they give you at the hospital, they'll wear those period panties and have said they're great. They're awesome.
That's what, as a home birther, I just can't grab.
Oh yeah, you wait.
Of Depends.
Yeah, she does. Depends.
I wear Depends.
And the hospital will give you a big maxi pad. These like giant maxi pads. They're awesome. And then the mesh underwear. But yeah, just think about that. I love the mesh underwear.
They're like actually it fits your body. The Depends are, I think,
yes,
made for old people.
I love this. I literally wore my booty shorts home after having my daughter at 21. Not the same. I love it.
Oh,
That's
dang.
amazing. You could
That
do
is
that.
amazing. Yeah,
I
21.
did not do that.
Probably. If you're under 25, you might have a chance.
You might have a chance.
Of being able to. You were under 25 though. With
I
your
was.
First.
I was 24. So
I guess it depends.
it
but-
depends. I did not fit in my clothes.
No, and I have never fit in my pre-pregnancy first baby clothes ever again.
It happens.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so birth plan. You want to make sure you stick
Oh yeah.
several copies of your birth plan.
Even though you've gone over it with your,
Yes.
so like ideally you've gone over it with your care provider. There, you guys are on the same page. Still print out a few copies, and then when you're there, go over it with your nurse.
yeah.
When you first get there, and then there's shift change, and so sometimes
Yeah.
you want to make sure that what's important to you is being communicated clearly. So
bring several copies.
Yeah.
Music. Okay, so if you want personal music, get your earbuds. If you want a speaker, if you want the whole vibe of your room to be a certain vibe, then bring a little Bluetooth speaker.
yeah.
Stick that in your bag.
As a doula, I actually throw on music all the time, and it's
one of my
awesome.
favorites.
Yeah, it really sets the tone of the
And not only
atmosphere in the
that,
space.
it will change the tone if
Yeah.
you need it to. So that's what's another thing. Like if things start getting hard, sometimes if you'll just change up the music, it will.
Honestly, music, we should do a live on music.
We will.
We have some fun stories about
Yeah.
different types of music. So sometimes it's the like yoga-y type, and if that fits your vibe and you like that, then that's fantastic. And then I've had births where it was like Bob Marley. I've had births that it was like Justin Timberlake. Like it's been
I love it.
so fun. So like whatever resonates with you, set yourself up for it and put it together.
Just think about that if
Yeah.
you can. Here's a big one as doulas and now post having babies
Yeah.
is a notebook. If anyone in your support team is there and if you can direct them, whether a doula will do it, but you might want to just double check. But if your husband or partner,
Maybe your mom is
maybe
there,
your mom's
or sister or
there.
something.
You could ask them to just write down milestones. So, at 12:52, she got an epidural. At 4:63,
She was dilated to an 8.
yeah, dilated.
463. 463. That'd be 520.
Yes,
Just kidding.
It's true. So, she was dilated to 8. Anything, or she said this funny thing, or this felt really important.
Yeah,
just any labor memory,
little details.
because it'll help.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's it.
I was just gonna say, we highly recommend that you write the birth story after you have your baby,
Yes.
and so this will be really great in remembering. Oh yeah, that's right. That's when that happened. I always appreciated even like when I would write my birth stories after, I'd go through the texts that I knew I was texting people, like when I was texting my mom and telling her like, yeah, I think I might be in labor, and then going back and seeing the time stamp on it and being like, oh, I said that at 10, and now hindsight knowing like, oh, she was born at 1, that's amazing that's what I was thinking at that time. So sometimes it's really great to have those little tidbits, and then after the fact you can come in and be like, wow, that's
Seriously,
amazing.
write your birth stories. Give us a raise of hands or
hearts or
hearts or anything
something.
about if you write your birth story or find value in writing your birth story. We find lots of value in
love
it, but maybe it's just us. Another thing that we recommend you put in your hospital bag is a grounding object.
We did talk about that.
We've talked about this before, the grounding objects with like a rose quartz stone, really anything that you can
Or like
feel.
a blanket, maybe
Yeah.
the clothes of the baby that you're
Yes.
birthing, or maybe the blanket of a baby you left at home while you've gone to the hospital, something that reminds you why you're there, gives you strength and encouragement.
Yes, and just helps you calm too. So, and then any affirmations, we find this really valuable. When I was in labor, that's how I got through my labor, is I just wanted somebody to tell me,
talk to you,
good things. Like, you can do this. You're almost there. Just your contraction, you're at the peak. It's now coming down. Even like specific affirmations like, your body is, why can't I think?
Let's throw out Michelle. So Michelle was one
yes.
that you just attended, and
She
just last summer.
created It was awesome. She created a big poster board size with all kinds of affirmations that resonated with her. And while
cool.
she was
and like
laboring,
posted it in her house.
Yeah.
So like when she was laboring, she could read them and see them.
Yeah. And
it was
her
a good
partner
reminder.
would read them as she was contracting. He would just say, you know, all these affirmations that she had said to herself throughout her pregnancy, he was reiterating to her. And then it almost was like bringing her back to, oh yeah, this is what I've prepared for. This is what I'm doing. So affirmations are really
helpful.
Really helpful. Any visualizations, guided meditations, guided visualizations that you might have done to prepare yourself for a unmedicated birth, if that's what you've done, bring some of those because you might want to do those while you are laboring. Then don't forget your chargers, your prenatal camera. Don't forget that, your phone. And then snacks. We really want to talk about snacks because there are never enough snacks at the hospital.
And so and again, check with your hospital when you go on a tour or something. Check with them and see kind of what's available to you, because oftentimes things have shifted a little, and so now hospitals are willing to allow mom to eat some when she's in labor. And I'm just going to throw this out a little bit, just as a doula, like for information. The no eating rule is kind of a ridiculous one, and is just one of as far as traditions go. It stems from when they were using chloroform to knock out women when they were having.
And they would puke.
And so they would puke and aspirate, and it was dangerous. It was very dangerous. But now it's highly, highly rare for a woman to be completely
knocked out. Well, and labor is hard work. Like, can you imagine running a marathon and not having any food?
Yeah.
Well, I guess people do that.
But you would still need to, like, but that's when your
electrolyte.
Body cramps up and your muscles start not working the way that they should if you're doing that. So that's why there's drink stations and like snack stations. You grab a banana or like a salt packet or something that is going to replenish your energy. Same with birth. You need something to sustain you and to replenish your energy. And so we highly recommend healthy snacks. You can get things that are like honey sticks. We love the honey sticks. Those are like, those are
such good energy. Yeah, really fast,
nice and quick, and they're
like oatmeal, anything soft. I know yogurts are good.
Toast.
Fruit.
Fruit is fantastic. Any like peanut butter toast, I loved that one. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, that's good.
And so just anything that you might have, just especially that you can just throw in your bag. I had a mom that threw in like trail mix, like nuts, and then but like a lot of chewing was okay at the beginning, but then it wasn't as helpful at the end.
Dates. Dates are awesome. Dates are so good. So you want to think about that, just something that's soft and easily chewed and then
literally snuck and ate burgers every time my nurse would leave the room. Which Kate and I awesome. Tell you, and I'm not sure if I should like cover my face or something, but it's better to ask forgiveness than permission when it comes to food. So go ahead and just eat. Don't ask them if it's okay if you eat.
And they will tell you
because
it's
hospital policy that no, I'm sorry, you can't eat that, or you have to have liquids that are clear liquids or things like that. But if it's already eaten, like they're not going to pump your stomach.
But that
is
changing too.
Yeah, it is.
It's changing.
It's fantastic. And it depends on your hospital and depends on your nurse and it depends on how long they've been there and like things like that. So just eat. If you're hungry, eat. For me, the second I start my labor contractions, I get super nauseous and I do not want to eat. Please do not bring any smells or food around me because in fact I'll tell this in a second, but because we're going to go over the differences between a birth center and a hospital bag.
Okay, so while we're on snacks though, so stick around if you want to know about the difference between a birth center and a hospital. April's going to talk about that. But one other thing on snacks is please bring extra for your partner. They don't get any of the hospital food. And while they're not working as hard as you are, they're still there and they're still supporting and they're still,
especially if you're having an unmedicated birth, they are working hard.
So just whoever your partner or your support team is, just make sure you throw in a couple extra granola bars, honey sticks, whatever. Like
sandwiches. Make some sandwiches. whatever works for you. Yeah.
Whatever you
Oatmeal
want.
packets that you can just get
some hot water
or something that's.
So that is.
And take some for your doula too.
Oh,
Michelle, yes.
She had the best snacks.
They will love you for it, and that is true.
Yes.
There's been plenty of times that I have left a birth after being there for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just like
starving because your doula doesn't really leave.
But
so it's nice to have.
Like as a doula, I do pack some granola bars and water and things like that. But at the same time, it's nice. It's nice to eat.
So anyway, those are the ideas we had for mostly
like while you're in labor.
Or before you go to the hospital, make sure that's in your hospital bag. And then you don't want to forget your baby. You want to bring any like cute swaddles that you have. They will give you a blanket, but like a cute swaddle to take pictures in, and their outfits, and they're so cute, hats, bows. Those car seat inserts are the best because they're so tiny that their car seat is going to look enormous. And so like a car seat head insert that just like kind of comes down to support their head and neck. Their baby book, if you wanted to get started on documentation, and then any specific baby care items you have. So if you're looking, they'll give you some like Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo and baby lotion.
And they'll have binkies, but if you want like
if you want anything
binky, then you'll have to bring that.
Yeah. So, and then definitely make sure you have something for your partner. So that's toiletries, change of clothes, a pillow and a blanket. They're gonna want a pillow and a blanket.
Depending on your room, it's basically like a couch or like a rolling
chair,
bed or chair. Yeah, like
it just depends.
Yeah, it just depends.
And then socks. It gets cold, and snacks,
which we talked about. So,
I had one other thing I wanted to say. And please know. Like every time I've been at the hospital, I love when moms and dads bring their rolling luggage. It's seriously the smartest thing. So just get your roller luggage that you would take on an airplane, or even like a checked bag if you want a lot of stuff. Just throw it in.
When in doubt, you're not going through security, so just like throw. If you're in it, when in doubt, just throw it in because. The worst thing that could happen is you don't use it and you have to take it home.
And then it's nice for whoever, because you like they can pull the bag,
instead of like hauling.
Yeah, instead of hauling stuff, like pull it, and they can stack stuff on it, and
that is
so
nice.
It's nice just to.
That's
queen
amazing.
bed,
Krista in the hospital.
That's so lucky.
That is lucky.
That's awesome. Actually, my husband works for a hospital, and they have just been a couple of their rooms have. Now a queen bed, their recovery rooms.
That's
awesome. Super nice. So they're getting the picture.
They are, because that is actually one of the things I was going to say as far as the differences between hospitals and birth centers is what you bring for the for your partner or for your husband, because typically you are staying a lot less time. So it's anywhere between. I only was supposed to stay for 4 hours after the birth, and then I was supposed to leave, and I think depending on how much you paid, like it was up to 12 hours after. So it was still half the time that is allotted for a hospital stay. So, and I didn't even stay the full 4 hours because it was right at like 8 o'clock at night. I just wanted to go home and go to bed. So I just said, hey, can I leave? And they said, yeah. So if you, depending on the length of your stay or like what time of the day, you might bring less options, less things that you need for yourself and for your partner after the birth. So instead of like the dry shampoo and the toiletries and all of that, like, bring some toothpaste and toothbrush and maybe makeup if you want makeup and things like that. But like for the extended stay, like the comfy pajamas, maybe that's what you want to go home in. I don't know. But typically it's just like the one outfit you go home in. If it's the middle of the night and you're like, I want to get a few hours of sleep in before I go home, then maybe you're sleeping there. But for the most part, you're just having your baby and making sure everything's good and clean, and then you kind of just head home. So, and Krista, you have a question. Do you have an OBGYN or a midwife at a birth center? It's a midwife typically. And I don't think there's any OBGYNs that really practice outside of a hospital, because they're surgeons and they can't really perform surgery unless they are in the operating room. So it's midwives. But the thing is too, is the differences between a hospital and a birth center, as far as the things that are available to you, are pretty much the same. Everything but a operating room. And so, and an anesthesiologist, so like an epidural, but they have like oxygen. They have, a lot of them even have like nitrous oxide. They can administer Pitocin. They, like anything, really, truly, they have everything available and there to them. Any emergency thing like that, they will be, they'll have available. So
that's awesome. There's a birth center owned by an OBGYN in New Jersey.
Wow, in New Jersey.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna look into that. That is way cool.
It's such a great midpoint between a hospital and a home birth.
Yeah,
it's just really great.
It is, because it gets you out of your own space, which can be really nice for some people. But at the same time, it still has a really cozy, warm feeling. A lot of the birth centers that I have toured and the one that I gave birth in had like a fireplace in the room and a queen size bed, and like it was like really nice decor. It felt like home. So it was fantastic in that aspect. So
there's several. We're getting comments about several OBGYN birth centers. So that's awesome.
Oh, he retired some years ago. Yes. So hopefully, if that's an option that you want, look into it, because apparently it's an option. Yeah. So please do. And then, and yes, typically there's a big enough bed for dad to stay in the bed. So usually there's a queen size bed. Krista mentioned that in her hospital room they had a queen size bed. Now that some hospitals are changing to queen size, because unfortunately, if there's not, then you have to bring options for dad's like comfort as well to sleep in the night. And then the birth plan, you might not necessarily need to. At least for me, my birth plan, everything that I had put on my birth plan came standard in the birth center option, and that was most of the reason why I decided to go to a birth center instead of a hospital. So like the delayed cord clamping, the skin to skin, all of that was like, that wasn't even a question or a discussion. That's just what they did standard. So I didn't feel like I needed to have several copies of my birth plan, so I didn't. So you decide what how you feel about that. And then depending on food options, the birth center I delivered in had like stocked fridge and freezer. Like we're talking everything like freezer meals and anything that you would honestly have in your own fridge and freezer. And you could go in and see what was there. And if there was things that you wanted additionally, you could bring it and use their fridge and freezer. But so here's the story I was going to tell you before. When I had my first baby, it was lunchtime when we got to the hospital, and my husband, he worked early in the morning, and so he had left for work before 6 a.m. And so when I was like, okay, I'm in labor, I need you to come home, it was about 9. And then when we got to the birth center, it was right close to lunchtime, and so he was really hungry. He hadn't eaten in hours. And so I was doing okay, so I told him he should go eat something, and he chose frozen burritos. And then I needed to be on my knees with my bum in the air and my arms. And so, because I needed my baby to move back to reposition, and I really was having a hard time relaxing my body. And so I had him like, he was holding up my shoulder so I could kind of relax and not suffocate into the pillow. And his face was right there, and I would get so nauseous. And my big thing was like, oh, please get some gum, get some mints, please. So
pack some gum
and mints, and just so if depending on what's available to you, food wise, is awesome for your spouse as well. Yes. So frozen burritos, if that doesn't bother you, I smell frozen burritos and I'm like, no.
So Emily's had a couple questions. She asked, what is better in our opinions, the hospital or the birth center? And it really, so I did hospital births. She's had home births and birth center births. And for me, what's your piece of advice? But my advice is find the care provider you like the most. And then you go wherever that care provider delivers. Yeah. Because
I would totally.
I mean, the hospital, a birth center, like the environment matters. But the cool thing is you can bring your environment as well with music and oils and the people that you're there with. And, but your next question, Emily, is it ideal to have a birth plan? the birth plan is what gets you your environment. So I think it's very important. Number one, because it's education for you. So the act of writing a birth plan is actually educating you on what your options are and what you want for your birth. So
and because a lot of times you're like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And so when you are writing a birth plan and actively like pursuing your options, then it's like, oh,
that is what I want.
That's cool. I think I really would want that.
I don't really care.
That
doesn't even matter to me. So that's the cool thing about a birth plan. And so if your environment, let's say the doctor you love only it has hospital births, you could then, when you are writing your birth plan, you could decide how you want that environment to be. So you're gonna, request that you can not request, but just like, this is how I want things.
Well, you're gonna show up with like, maybe if you want it to be like low lighting, you show up with some twinkle lights and or some like a salt lamp or something to put on in the room, and the music, and so you set up your environment the way you want it to be. And I love that. I think that's depending on where you want it, or depending on who you want, you can show up this into your environment the same way.
Yeah. So those are most of the questions you guys have had, and that is our hospital bag checklist. You can grab it with the link in our link tree or at our website. There's a little tab that says free PDF.
Real quick, there's a question from Karen over here on Facebook. She says, do you have a template for a birth plan for those who don't know where to start?
We are going to make
We're working. No, we have been working on it. We're working on it, and as soon as it's available, this like worksheet freebie checklist for the
is available.
But Karen, just so you know, you can just Google birth plans.
There's
there are tons out there, so you can kind of see what's on them, see what other people have been writing, and write your own. We'll do a live about birth plans, but I highly recommend you write your own, and you'll hear this, you'll get people that'll be like, oh yeah, I know a nurse friend and she hates birth plans, and that's fine. And like, just know that it's not about you.
It's an opinion.
At all. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
But more than anything, it helps you to know what you want. And so whether or not they hate it or not, like that, just don't even worry about that.
It's not their birth.
It's not their birth.
It's not their experience.
I would recommend, don't just get on Google and just print out the first, research what you want and then write your own.
And we have tons of information within our posts and our lives. We have a YouTube channel that we put all of our lives onto. So that's in our link tree as well. Our highlight bubbles, if you have questions about certain things, you can mostly find all the information within our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, information there. So
sorry, another quick question. So does your doctor deliver a baby at home if you want to have a home birth? It would depend on your doctor, your care provider. So
usually just home birth midwives.
Usually it's CNMs. No, certified home birth.
No, nurse midwives.
No, it's not nurse. Nurse are usually in the hospital.
That's true.
No,
we don't remember.
Certified CPMs, certified professional midwife, that will deliver at home. And so the care provider that I found that I really, really loved, she was a home birth midwife. And so that's why I had my babies at home, and I loved her. And
because she chose her care provider and then went wherever her care provider went. So that's typically what we suggest. Okay, so we're done. Sorry we always take so long, but we love your questions. We love your comments, and we just
love that you're here.
You're so great. So for today's giveaway with your hospital bag, we have one of our Dear Darby robes. So this is not our labor gown. This is just a robe. Not just. It's an awesome robe. It has pockets, and it's lightweight, and it's breathy, and it's
beautiful.
Beautiful, and it fits really well, and it has the strap is actually
it's attached.
Thank you. So that it doesn't get lost in the wash. It's machine washable. It's just awesome. So, but the only thing is we have a 1X. This is a 1X robe. So here's how you get this robe. And I'm sorry for all those that are not 1Xers, but we love our 1Xers.
But you might like it.
Yes,
honestly,
I
might
know.
like it.
You might like it.
If
And
you're close to around 1X, you might like it.
I pretty much can wear between a small and an extra large. It fits me. I mean, obviously it's bigger and smaller depending on, but our robes, the thing that's nice about a robe is it doesn't have to fit perfectly.
Yeah,
it's going to
you're
fit.
wrapping it.
So if you feel like a 1X will fit you, or you know somebody that's pregnant that needs this, this is how you're going to get this, because this is the only thing we could come up with is in our post
that we have. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, in our post that we did today, it's a girl in her hospital bag. If you will just go comment on there, yes, I want the robe, or robe for me, or anything about a robe, or tag somebody that needs this robe. Just if you'll comment on there, that's how we'll do our giveaway this week, just because it is so specific, and we know that not everybody on here that has commented
might want or need or fit or whatever this robe.
Yes. So if you will,
the 1X robe.
1X robe, go to our comments, and we're not telling anyone else about this. So this is you guys.
So it might be your odds of getting this might be real high, honestly, because
so on Facebook or Instagram, just go say robe. Yes, robe. Just make sure you put the word robe in your comment, and we'll choose a winner. And we'll probably get that all by Monday, since we're
we're actually going to be
out of town.
We're driving to Utah. Both of us we'll be at our mom's house this coming weekend. So, but we'll show up on Monday, and we'll choose a winner, and
we'll get it all out to you.
And speaking of, because next Tuesday is New Year's Eve, we will be showing up again next week on a Thursday. Yeah. So come back.
It'll be the last
from
Tuesday,
today.
or excuse me, last Thursday that will show up. But Tuesday, nobody wants to be here on Tuesday.
No, you're out. You are out enjoying the last day of the year of 2019.
Yes.
And we're gonna enter in 2020, and it's gonna be
Lindsay. Now you know. Now you know.
Yeah. And you don't even have to be pregnant, you guys. I want to throw this out there.
That is
I know it's fantastic for a hospital bag. But we have maternity. We have two buttonholes that you can thread it through the belt loop through. The top one is usually for a belly, but the bottom one is when you're after. And
that's the one I use. I don't have a baby belly.
Yeah.
So comment robe. We're so grateful you're here. If you ever have any comments or questions or suggestions on lives that you would like to hear about, DM us, and
please do
let us know, or comment, or whatever. But we are thankful you're here.
We love you.
Thanks for being awesome, and
have a wonderful night.
Good luck.
We'll see you soon.
Love you. Bye.